It started with you and Mina just chatting about the boys and the things you've liked about them and disliked, before Mina switched into a less appropriate topic. Soon enough, you both were throwing things back and forth about what you thought the boys were like in the bedroom, because, well, why the hell not? It's not like you had anything better to do at the moment anyway. You didn't acknowledge that Mina would change the person they'd focused on based on who was walking behind you in the common room, registering the smirk on her face as just her grinning because, well, she thought it was fun topic or something.
Do you think Izuku would even be able to function in bed?
Oh, have faith in him, Mina. You've seen how quickly he can shift from cute and shy to intimidating and serious.
Oh, so you think he's a dom in bed?
You couldn't help but laugh at that, trying but failing to hide your grin in the rim of the soda can in your hand as you shook your head. Oh, absolutely not. It'd probably be a sub-leaning switch, let's be honest, Mina.
We are on two different pages right now. I'm advocating for dom Izuku.
Hey, don't switch up because you want to be different. You couldn't help but think, however, what Izuku would be like if he were a dom in bed. Would he be demanding or would he be stuffed? He gave off such cute and sweet vibe, he'd probably vanilla or something. Would he even know what dom or sub means?
You know, if all else fails, just beg fuck him.
Mina?
Hey, I'm just saying, you seem to be thinking too hard.
Mina could only shrug, her eyes darting to your face, to behind you. I'd prefer to try and see if Izuku will want to experiment first, because it gives me desperate dumb vibes. You missed the devilish grin that spread onto Mina's face as she continued to stare behind you.
You know, like
pounding it to you desperately while telling you how good it feels and you don't even have to turn around. The embarrassment already creeping up your spine once you realize who is behind you. If God existed, you hoped to find it hard way to strike you down right there. Finally bringing yourself to turn down, you see Izuku's red face and lidded eyes staring down at you. You can't lie. You kind of like this look on him. Hey, do you think we can talk later? Seems like you have some question for me. Listen, I see you in 20 minutes. Don't be late. The second the name left Mina's mouth, a smirk started to form on your face. You couldn't lie. You have thought about what Shinso would be like, but you couldn't decide on something. I can't tell if Shinso will be awkward or really good in bed.
Awkward?
You can't tell me that he's not a little bit awkward sometimes. Mina obviously disagreed if the look on her face was anything to go by.
Hey, I'm sorry, but Shinso give me quiet but kinky vibes.
That was your other idea. He's definitely bulked up since high school, so you could imagine one of those strong hands around your throat.
Hey, you better close your mouth before you start drooling. What are you thinking about?
She nudged you, snapping you out of your daze as you fumbled to keep yourself from spilling your drink everywhere. You knew you could tell her and she wouldn't judge you, but her reaction is what worried you. You just raised your hand and waved it a little bit before putting it on your neck. It took her a second. Her brow furrowed as she started to process what you mean before gasping and slapping her hand on your shoulder.
You want to choke, Shinso? You kinky Mina. Shut the fuck up, oh my gosh.
You slapped your hand across her mouth. Your face hot. She was still trying to talk through your hand. Her word muffled, but excitement pushing her to sleep. To keep talking. As you tried to tell her to quiet down, you barely registered the way her eyes drift over your head and widen.
Oh my god, she's...
You whipped around and ripped your hand away from Mina's mouth just to see Shinso behind you with an eyebrow raised. So, you want to choke me? No, that's not what I meant. What I meant was tell me what you meant then. He bent down slightly, his hands coming up from behind you and lightly squeezing the back of your neck. For some reason, I feel like you want the world to be switched. Right, kitten? You and Mina were staring at each other after she said the next person of the entire name. The both of you broke out into a sneaky smirk before you both said what was on your mind.
Biting King!
Saying it at the same time caused you both to fall out into a fit of quiet laughter, trying not to draw attention to yourselves. You couldn't help it. It was just so obviously, especially with those sharp feet of his. Not to mention the way Kirishima acted in general. He was all for manly behavior and not in the toxic way. He was sweet, kind, but you could get aggressive when he needed to you. You could just imagine how giving he would be in the bedroom.
I guess you're right. Kirishima does give those vibes, doesn't he? What vibe? But you just say it'd be giving.
You didn't even realize you said that out loud. A knowing grin broke out onto Mina's face as she moved closer to you, poking you in your side. Come on, you want to be Kirishima Pillow Princess, don't you? And have him take care of you. Maybe I do. What about it?
So that's so, baby shark.
You shut up, eyes wide, when you instantly recognized who was speaking. You had to stop yourself from shivering at the deep chuckle next to your ear. You know, if you wanted me to take care of you so badly, all you had to do was ask. Nicely. Maybe even beg. But that's just an idea. I'll let you think about it, baby shark. Kirishima blew hair into your ear, chuckling at how you jumped and let out a high squeal, walking away with a proud grin on his face and leaving you to process what he just offered.
If you're not gonna say yes, then I—
Shut it, Mina!
If you're into kinky stuff like temperature play, I bet Todoroki would be the best for that.
You couldn't help but agree with her. He probably would be good at that, but would Todoroki even be interested in stuff like that? I don't know, Mina. He seems like it'd be vanilla.
Are you kidding me?
She seemed like she was offended into the next dimension as she glared at you.
I mean, it's always the quiet boys that are into kinky stuff like that. Don't you ever forget that.
Okay, that sort of makes sense to you. He could pass as a dom, but would he be soft or hard? You turned to Mina, not noticing the smug look on her face, as she urged you to ask a question. Do you think Todoroki is a soft or hard dom? I don't know. Why don't you ask him yourself? She was pointing over your shoulder, and lo and behold, Todoroki was behind you, his eyes looking down at you. You couldn't stop the shiver that shot down your back. You knew he was down there and that he could probably hear you, but that look in his eyes was not what you were expecting. If you're so curious, I expect you to come to my room later tonight. He gave a quick smirk before leaving. Both you and Mina whipped to look at each other, wearing matching looks of shock. Did you just— Oh my god, you're fucked! I bet Bakugo has a huge dick. Yeah, but he's such a brat. He's probably a bottom. Wow, I cannot believe you said that. You couldn't believe how easily you said that, but it was true in your eyes. Usually, people with such bad attitudes were bottom on the inside, so that probably applied to Bakugo. Sure, he gave off top vibe, but cheap in wolf clothing, you know? I bet you'd give him control the second he wrapped his hands around your throat. What? So now Bakugo has a choking kink? No, babe. You have a choking kink. It'd be nice enough to choke you. You couldn't lie. That didn't sound that bad. He did have pretty big, strong-looking hands, so imagining them wrapped around your throat wasn't that bad of a thought. You might just have to ask him if he was into choking to prove Mina's wrong. Though, he wasn't that far away in the room. I mean, if anything, he has the choking kink, and I'll be the one with my hand wrapped around his throat. What a great timing. Suddenly, your hair was rudely pulled back as you stared up into rather annoyed eyes. Looked like you wouldn't have to wait for him to come over to ask, as it seemed like he heard the whole conversation, if that scroll on his face meant anything. For your information, dumbass, I wouldn't in this day to fuck you until that idiotic brain of yours can't even remember anything but my fucking name. He gave a slight slap on your cheeks, his scroll morphing into a smirk before walking off, leaving you and Mina stunned.